We've become used to seeing the same pattern. Every time tensions rise, images are always the same. High-rise buildings in Gaza collapsing, children running through rubble, and world leaders busy drafting statements that eventually become nothing more than historical display pieces. But today, March 20th, 2026, that pattern has finally changed. For the first time in the history of this conflict, Israel is experiencing what it means to live without a sense of security. This is no longer just a single sporadic attack that can be intercepted by the Iron Dome. Instead, it's wave after wave of missiles and drones arriving without power, forcing millions of Israelis to sleep in bunkers and run for shelter every time sirens sound. What's even more surprising is that we don't know how severe the damage actually is, not because no one is recording it, but because the Israeli military has imposed the strictest censorship ever seen. A foreign media manager in Israel admitted openly, "Our coverage of this war is not entirely honest." So what's really happening in the skies over Tel Aviv? And why is Iran suddenly capable of doing what once was considered impossible? Indian journalist Mohan Singh was in Israel when the 54th wave of attacks was launched. He described a strange experience. Journalists were forbidden from approaching missile impact sites. They were not allowed to record the damage. Even hospitals were heavily guarded and closed to the media. This feels like a ghost war. We hear explosions, we smell burning metal, but we cannot show the world what's really happening. However, some Israeli civilians continue recording with their phones. From amateur footage that slipped past censorship, we can see fragments of reality. An apartment in Rishon LeZion with its roof collapsed. Fire in Holland consuming 3 houses at once. The streets of Tel Aviv plunged into darkness due to power outage. The conflict has entered its 56th wave. The Sigil missile is a game changer. This solid field ballistic missile travels at Mach 11, around 12 minutes, the speed of the sound. From Israel's border to Tel Aviv, it takes less than 7 minutes. The Iron Dome system was designed to intercept short-range, slower rockets. Against Sigil, the reaction time is almost zero. Meanwhile, the Khurramshahr 4 missile tells a different story. Nicknamed Super Heavy, it carries a 2-ton warhead. According to Iran's IRGC, this missile struck a Rafale missile depot in northern Israel, where some of Israel's most advanced weapons are stored. If true, the explosion would not only destroy buildings but also disrupt Israel's military supply chain. The cumulative data is staggering. Since Feb 28, Iran claims to have launched 700 missiles and 3,600 drones. What matters is the pattern. Attacks never ever stop. Each Iranian missile costs tens of thousands of dollars. Each Iron Dome interception costs between $1 lakh and $2 lakh. In a war like this, the side with greater passions wins. And after 40 under sanctions, is highly experienced in passions. But behind these numbers lies a single event that changed everything. Minab Elementary School tragedy. March 11, 2026. Missiles struck southern Tehran. The intended target, according to Israel, was military, but fragments fell into a schoolyard. 165 students and staff were killed. The average age was just 9 years old. A mother in Tehran named Fatima lost her only daughter. She didn't scream in front of the cameras. She was interviewed by foreign media, but she attended the mass funeral, standing silently among 164 other mothers. They carried no banners, only photos of their children. The span is beyond imagination. 3 days later, there were no protests, only quiet calls for justice. Interestingly, in Tehran's public space, young people who usually criticize the government fell silent. They watched the news, saw parts of Tel Aviv and Beersheba burning, heard that 9 Israelis had died. And someone said quietly, maybe this is the time for payback. A professor at the University of Tehran explains this phenomena. Even those who had the government still had bombs falling on children's schools. That's the most basic human instinct. Why won't Iran stop? Why are negotiations offers rejected? The answer lies in Libya. In 23, Muammar Gaddafi did what the West demanded. He dismantled weapons programs and opened dialogue. But in 2011, he was killed and his country still remains unstable. Iran's foreign minister Abbas Araghchi stated firmly, "We are not asking for a ceasefire. We are not even asking for negotiation." This is not arrogance, it's a deterrence. While the attacking coalition is beginning to fracture, President Trump is under immense pressure as oil prices surpass $200 per barrel due to the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. He wants a quick end to the war, while Netanyahu is aiming for long-term goals, regime change in Tehran. Iran, however, remains consistent with 85 million people and a network of resistance across 4 countries. It's unlikely to become another Gaza or another Libya. So where do we stand now? We may not be able to stop missiles flying over Tel Aviv or Tehran, but we can choose not to be part of those who hide the truth. When censorship is strong, when media shows only half the story, it becomes our responsibility to keep questioning and searching. If you find this perspective important, like the video, not for me, but to signal to the algorithm that there are people who seek depth, not just sensation.